Okay. Vita. I'm gonna show y'all boys where I'm from, man. I'm from
What it do? Still with the camp, sound like a lamb. Big boss hog. Boss dog can't poke through the door. Here to talk this boxer. Forget about soliloquy. Remember, tough times don't last. Can people do it enough yourself? Cut him enough, I me matter. Peak game. 84's over swing. This video not gonna be long. Errol Spence needs to hurry and return to boxing. Let's talk about it. Seeing a lot of people in boxing forums and certain comment sections of certain. I told you I'm in watch a lot of boxing. I read a lot of comments. I read, and a lot of people are wanting Errol Spence to come back. I say, Errol, man, come back when you're ready, bro. That's just my take on it. Errol Spence, man, been through a lot, car crash, taking his first loss, all that, And I understand the mental, bro. Like, when you've been at the top for so long and you take your first loss, it's not anything easy to get over. You know what I'm saying? Then he got kids. All those fight camps, he probably won't spend a lot of time with his kids. So, his kids getting older. I think his daughters are like close to 10 years old. When you got daughters, man, you got to spend a lot of time with them. You know what I'm saying? I got 2 daughters. I spent a lot of time with my daughters. Especially when they was coming up, talking to them, just trying to speak life to them. Even now, like, I spend a lot of time with my daughter. My daughter's like, one of them as a teenager. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. I'm getting old. But, and my youngest, she 10. She finna be 11. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I always try to speak life to him, spend time with him. And I feel like that's what Errol trying to do with his kids, even his son. He trying to speak life into his kids. He had a video where his son was hitting Errol Spence's hands. Errol Spence was teaching him how to throw the jab and throw the hook. And his son didn't have his hands all the way high. He slapped him he didn't slap him. He just did like a little love tap, like, hey, keep that hand up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he teaching, he being a father. You know what I'm saying? And that may be where his mindset is right now. But when the time is right, he gonna come back and, we gonna see what version of Errol we gonna get. I don't know what Errol Spence is gonna look like when he comes back. I'm not gonna lie to you, we can only speculate. I feel like Errol Spence, in my opinion, when he come back, he gonna come back motivated. He know where he messed up at. He know what he do. He just, I think this second chapter of his boxing career, he gonna try to fix a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? That's real talk, man. He gonna try to fix a lot of things and basically handle the second half of his career better. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't feel like he did anything genuinely wrong the first time. I just think that, I won't say anything wrong. I say that he didn't live a fighter lifestyle, right? That's the knock on him. I think he kind of relied on his God-gifted ability, and then after he came off the accident, it was just like he probably should have took more time off than he needed to. I feel like he kind of was a little money hungry, and I'm just speculating. I don't know. Or maybe he felt the pressure of, hey, I got to deliver these fights. I got to be a man of my word. Whatever the case was. He probably should have took more time off to heal his body, but he pushed through it and fought fights and, fought off will and grit and determination, and he beat a lot of guys till he ran into Terrence Crawford, right? A guy who lives a fighter lifestyle. And when you get to that top level, Andre Ward says this, and I always remember this video. I mean, this stuff he said. He said, when you get to that top level, that's when you start watching and seeing, okay, man, he like to drink. Okay, he don't drink a lot of water. Okay, he like to do this, he like to do that, right? That's when he said you really start paying attention to your opponent. And I feel like that's what Crawford did with Errol. You know what I mean? Crawford started paying attention to Errol. He like to drink. Oh, okay, he ballooning up in weight. Like, he ain't, okay. He having fat camps instead of having camps where You know, he could work on his skill and add new wrinkles to his game. You get what I mean? So I think Errol Spence, man, this second go around, especially if he choose Stephen Edwards as his coach, I feel like the second go around, he gonna do stuff the right way. Now, like I said, we don't know what version of Errol we gonna get. You know, do I think Errol Spence is damaged? You know, because you hear people, they talk about, Terrence Crawford damaged Errol. I don't feel like it was Terrence Crawford. I feel like, if anything, Errol Spence damaged Errol Spence. If Errol Spence come back and he's not the same, it's because of him. Right? The choices he's made in his life, the things he's done, right? I think it's him. I don't think it's Terrence Crawford. Right? I know people want that because they want that for Terrence. Like, oh yeah, man, Terrence. Yeah, you saw that beating? Yeah, it's because Terrence Crawford. It's like, nah, bro. It's Errol. It's Errol Spence. His lifestyle catching up to him. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it was. His life choices caught up with him. That's what it is. I don't believe that, oh man, it's because, Terrence Crawford just put such a beating on him. I don't believe that. Yeah, Terrence Crawford did put a beating on him. But he didn't beat the fight out of Errol. Y'all remember, Errol still was trying to fight. The referee just stopped the fight. Errol didn't quit. Errol didn't fold. Errol was still fighting. He still wanted to fight. Terrence Crawford was countering him. It was getting bad. You know what I'm saying? But Errol still was stepping to Crawford. He did exactly what he said. I'm a stepper and I'm a step. That's just what it is. Crawford was catching him, countering him, was faster than him. He was just like, Errol was in slow motion. Crawford was, ooh. You know what I mean? And he was throwing in between Errol Spence's shots. He did exactly what I said he needed to do to beat Errol. Right? Use his speed and throw in between Errol Spence's shots. And he was doing that. You feel what I'm saying? So I just think that Errol gonna come back when he ready. And whenever he do come back, he gonna come back ready to go. You know what I'm saying? That's my speculatory opinion. You know what I'm saying? Because, y'all like to speculate a lot. But Crawford's gonna, when he gets in there with anybody, he's gonna mollywop him. Y'all like to do that. So we're gonna do that too with Errol. Pause. That sounds crazy. I think Errol, man, he gonna come back right, man. You know what I'm saying? But I'll say this, if he not right, it's more because of him than anything. His life choices. But y'all let me know what y'all think, though. Let's go.